Hello everyone, Schwartz here, and today I want to address an issue gamers have been having to deal with for some time, and it's regarding the attacks that people who hate games, particularly the violent ones, have made that have resulted in some games being pulled from various store shelves and other places. When this happens, gamers tend to get enraged and spew a bunch of anger, while not realizing they can just laugh it off and go on about their day like I do. I have often wondered why gamers actually get upset, but have found the answer to be simple ignorance. Now, before anyone gets offended at that comment, you need to understand a couple things about ignorance. One, it's not something that one should be thought less of for. And two, people who are ignorant can often be excused. And three, we're all ignorant in some way. For example, I don't know much about cars or sports. Therefore, I admit I'm ignorant of the two. I have no idea what a draft pick is or where the end zone is in a football game or what that even is. When it comes to cars, I couldn't tell a person what a radiator is or what it does, nor could I tell a diesel engine apart from a V6 engine. So I'm very ignorant when it comes to that. But I could talk to you all day about CNC machines like Dallas Industries products or CR Unshrewd, to name but a few. And I could probably talk to a person for days about foreign languages, where to go to learn them, where to find great German, Spanish, Japanese, Korean, and Russian music that you can buy as an American, and so on. And this is because we all have our chosen areas of expertise, because we can't simply know everything in this world. And being ignorant of something we have not had time to study is not a reason to think less of someone. For example, anyone that has seen the game on screen and has no idea what is happening or what the words on the screen are saying shouldn't be thought of as stupid. Not everyone knows Japanese, and as such, they're just ignorant of the language, but that's not meant to be an insult to them. So when it comes to ignorance in gamers, many gamers are unfortunately ignorant of the real world. And again, this is not meant to be an insult and should not be taken as one. Allow me to explain. Most gaming channels figuratively live, eat, and breathe gaming. When they leave their homes, they go to gaming events like E3 or go to friends' houses to play games. When they enter other places, they are often on the receiving end of services. As such, they don't need to understand much of the world. So, a guy doing a YouTube channel as his source of income may not understand complex economic systems that exist, or even other such concepts. Additionally, many gamers are students who haven't had time to have real-world experience. As such, many fear the attacks of anti-gamers and people that want games banned and the like, and they go ballistic and flock to clickbait articles and videos when this happens. Though they really shouldn't be worried, because anti-gamers won't win. It's simple economics that prevent this from happening. So when it comes to ignorance, due to the inundation of games around many gamers, they are simply ignorant of why anti-gamers won't win, and that is what I intend to explain in this video. I do this because I want my fellow gamers to be able to relax and even laugh when anti-gaming attempts are made, because that's what I do, and it's great to be able to do that. Now to explain, I'm going to use a real-world example and not games, being as anti-gamers may be watching this and they don't understand games. If they did, they wouldn't oppose them. So for this example, we're going to use smokers. Let's say there is a town that has 5 restaurants, and each one can feed 200 people a day for a total of 1,000 people eating out every day. Now in this town, 30% of the population are smokers and the remaining 70% are not. So this means 700 people are not smokers and 300 are, which translates to 140 non-smokers and 60 smokers per restaurant per day. Now in the first restaurant, a group of non-smokers go to the manager and say, "Ban smoking in this restaurant or we are no longer going to be coming here. We will just give up eating out and eat at home." So the manager hears this and says, "Oh, not good. If I don't comply, I'll lose 70% of my customers, but I don't want to lose 30% either. Though losing 30% is better than 70, but wait, I won't lose all my customers. I mean, if I establish myself as a non-smoking restaurant, other customers in the other restaurants in town will come here and fill in the gap left by the smokers who left. My business will be just fine. Okay, smoking is banned here." He does this, and as expected, non-smokers from the other restaurant go to his restaurant, while the smokers go to others where they can smoke. This means that in the other 4 restaurants, there are now 125 non-smokers and 75 smokers per day. This puts the percentages at roughly 37% smokers to 63% non-smokers. Now, the anti-smokers are happy with their first victory and threaten the second restaurant. The restaurant owner then bans smoking in his restaurant. This results in the other 3 restaurants having 100 smokers a day as well as 100 non-smokers, making the percentages in the final 3 restaurants 50-50. But the anti-smokers push on, and the third restaurant looks at it much more intently, but banning smoking is the end thing, and it would make him look like he cares, and like with the other 2 before him, he will get the customers from the other restaurants that still allow smoking. His restaurant would still be at 100% capacity, being as there are still enough non-smokers in town to fill the void that would be left by banning smokers. However, this leaves 150 smokers a restaurant in the final two, making it 25% non-smokers to 75% smokers. So the anti-smoking groups come to the fourth and say, ban smoking or we'll boycott your restaurant. The owner then fires back, no, I can't do that or I would lose 3/4 of my clientele and I just can't survive on 25%. And there is just simply not enough non-smokers to fill the gap that would be left by the smokers leaving my restaurant. At best, we would only have 100 customers a day, and that is a 50% loss. If you boycott my place, I'll only lose 25%. I don't like any losses, but I'm going to choose what will give me the fewest lost customers. Plus, smokers are getting tired of you pushing your agenda in a free country. So get lost. I have a large smoking customer base, and I need to take care of them if I want to be able to stay afloat. Now, if you haven't already figured out what I'm trying to say, it's simply this. Money talks, and it's a great motivator, as well as the reason most, if not all of us, do what we do. For example, do you think that I would stick my hand inside a machine designed to crush at 300 tons of pressure, with a metal plate weighing several tons secured only by a few bolts, right above my hands if my paycheck were not between $1,300 and $2,500 a piece? Not a chance, but it needs to be cleaned, or the damage it could cause to the product we're trying to produce would cost thousands of dollars to my employer. However, there are some people that won't touch that machine with a 40-foot pole. However, these people, when working overtime at time and a half, still make less than my regular rate of pay, so of course they're not going to do anything dangerous like that. I was once asked to work with some others to clean a machine after a coworker's hand got pulled into it. It was a horrifying sight, to say the least, blood everywhere, but production could not continue until it was cleaned. But the highly paid people did this. Those that were not being paid near as much stayed far away. If you're lucky enough to have never seen the aftermath of a body part having been pulled into a machine and removed, believe me when I say I did not like being on that cleanup crew, but I had to tell myself doing this kind of thing is, as people often say, why I get paid the big bucks. All of us can tell similar stories as to a time money motivated our actions, and for most people money motivates several actions a day, like why I strive my hardest to never be late for work, simply because if you're never late or you never miss a day, the company pays a perfect attendance bonus that can go over $1,000 every year, and bonuses are nice. So when it comes to games, money motivates the companies as well. So sure, games may get banned or pulled from shelves in some places, but this doesn't matter because just like the aforementioned example, even if several stores ban a game like GTA, other stores will refuse to stop selling them simply because they may only be one of a few places that sell them, and people want to buy these games. Look at how many copies of GTA 5 sold worldwide. When I look at those figures and then see people upset that Target pulled it from their shelves, I laugh at anti-gamers who think they actually accomplished something and cry at the worry some gamers are showing. Even if it's down to where several stores ban a game or refuse to sell it, there will always be those that say, since game can't be bought anywhere else, if I sell it, people will still come here and I'll make a profit. Look at how much money services like Steam are making and gaming companies like Activision and Rockstar are raking in. Do you honestly think they will cave to feminists or people like Jack Thompson? What will feminists do in protest? Boycott Steam or GameStop? I've played games with girls and know many women in real life, and believe me when I say most women are not for these anti-gaming feminists. I once had the pleasure of hearing a female gamer tear apart a woman's opinion about why her favorite game was not a good game for women to be playing. I knew some girls for years that loved to get together and play wrestling games and would kick the crap out of any boy that would face them. Even I got beat by one of the younger ones while I was in my early 20s. Sad part was the girl was a first grader and I was actually trying. Point is, this girl and her much older sisters were vicious when you played against them, but never cared about the way women were dressed, and neither did any moms care about the quote-unquote depiction of women in these games. The one mother basically just left it as simple, that's right, because girls can't do anything a boy can do, when her son told her that he made a female wrestler in the game. In her mind, that was equality, and there was no need to worry about how they were dressed or anything like that. I could probably talk for hours of the comments many women I know have made about feminists that claim to be speaking for all women. But I won't because the point of this video is simple. These anti-gaming movements are no real threat to gaming. Now going back to smokers, look at how vicious anti-smokers have been over the past few years. But look around you, millions still smoke. Gaming is the same way. It won't go away because it's just not harmful and it can't be proven that it is. So the bottom line is this: to my fellow gamers, relax and take it easy, and don't worry if a game gets pulled from a store or something. The gaming industry is worth billions, and it just isn't feasible that an activist group can compete against that and win. And to anti-gamers, believe me when I say you won't win. And you should stop underestimating and stereotyping gamers. Maybe if gamers actually lived in their parents' basement, you could beat us, but most of us are not. Many of us are well educated and have the means to stand against you and debate you. I myself have over 2 decades of experience with children and child development. I know there is no way you can prove that it leads to violence. Case in point, a kid I knew for years that played GTA ad nauseum is currently serving in the United States military to gain experience and get a leg up for when he's ready to join the police department and pursue his dream of serving as a law enforcement officer. That's right, a kid who killed cops constantly in GTA wants to be a law enforcement officer. Kids can tell the difference between fantasy and real life. I even had an elementary student, when gaming at my house, say that he didn't want to drive an expensive car I had in Need for Speed because, quote, I'm not a very good driver and I would just probably crash and don't want to damage your expensive car. So when a young kid, not even 10 years old, proves that they understand concepts like actions having consequences and being willing to admit when they can't handle certain responsibilities, you can see why I don't take claims that violent video games ruin our kids seriously. The anti-gamer belief that all gamers are just stupid and that they can just walk in and take our games is an insult to those of us who love games but are well educated and understand the amendments that grant us the freedom to play games, as well as the pursuit of happiness. The claims that gamers are all hateful, violent people are insulting to those of us that give generously to charities but enjoy playing games. Your claims that gamers are sexist is just absurd. You all are the absurd ones. I mean, look at how much anti-gamers spend to campaign against games. Do you not realize that charities could use that money and that would in turn actually have your money and effort accomplishing something? I'm only 26 years old, but not long ago I made a realization. I realized that I had given over $10,000 to charity so far in my life. One place I donate to is a pregnancy center that helps young and poor mothers get clothes and food for their children at no cost to the mother. You claim to be looking out for women and children, but I have seen more women and children benefit from my financial donations than your anti-gamer campaigns have done. So hopefully you all can smarten up, and since you cannot win, maybe use your money and time to actually help people. Like I say, if you want to help, then give the money to charities or volunteer. I would bet that the thousands I've given to charities and hours that I've spent volunteering at a pregnancy center or a charity for St. Jude's Children's Hospital has done more than your anti-gaming movement has for women and children. But like I say, I'm not worried. Simple economics proves anti-gamers can't win. My multiple bank and investment accounts negate all comments that gamers are just poor people living off the welfare in their mama's basement. The fact that my bicycle's odometers are showing over 50,000 miles ridden negates any all gamers are fat comments. And the women in my life, particularly the ones at the pregnancy center, don't think I'm sexist, so why would I care what anti-gaming feminist calls me? And this, dear gamers, is a sentiment I wish you all to have, one that doesn't care what the anti-gamers say or do. They can't win, so it's just time to get back to the games we love and have fun doing it. Anyways, this has been Shorts Fiat, and I know this video was long, but thanks for watching, and have a great day.